Oh, it has been one production problem after another. I swear I'm just constantly trying to fix these inefficiencies and make things autosave, stand out, and work 100% with full efficiency. And it's been such a struggle to get there. Welcome back, everybody. My name is Nick. This is another episode of Satisfactory. Welcome to the channel. I hope that you're doing absolutely amazing. I hope that you're being kind to yourselves today. Take a moment today, wherever you're listening to this, wherever you're watching this, whenever you're watching this, and just do something good for you today. So we're out here at the Eastern Desert platform, and this drone port very specifically here takes steel ingots that are crafted in the building right below here. This takes steel ingots and it transports them up to the iron factory up here. Now, as you saw in the last episode, I am currently adding all the processes back in that were removed from the iron factory, although we're simplifying things a little bit. We're not putting any manufacturers in the building, any kind of advanced processes or anything like that. They're going to go into their own structure. And I know we want to get working on the nitrogen gas facility out there today so we can start getting all those processes in place, but I still have a couple other things that I have to sort out before I can start breaking ground on that facility. Namely, making sure that all my processes are as efficient as they possibly should be. Good, he's coming back in for a landing now. How are we doing over here in terms of our ingots? Okay, we've got a full bus. He's going to take 9 full stacks with him. Right now I am stress testing, so we currently have our steel beams and our steel pipes. All that infrastructure has been reinstalled. I can show you guys that soon. But right now we're stress testing everything to make sure that all of my production processes can kind of flow continuously, that we're not going to have any supply interruptions once we get everything up and running. And that's where I found this issue, where unfortunately we weren't getting enough coal here. We need 405 pieces of coal here. And this is the train platform for the coal. You can see it coming down. It comes out on the other side. I don't know why I didn't just flip it around, but whatever. And then it comes up over the top and down underground and then makes its way over into this facility where it's creating steel ingots. And the problem is, when I came out here to kind of try to figure out what the issue was, because we're producing enough coal in the world. Right now I'm producing 1,800 pieces of coal between the 2 sets of coal miners that we have. And that, again, that doesn't include this massive compacted coal structure, because these are completely separate, and there's also Power Station Bravo, which is on its own. So okay, we're producing more than 1,800, but, and there's the train right now coming back in. The train was the issue, it turns out, in the whole production thing. So up top here we need 405 for steel processes. We need 150 to run the power plants up there. We've got 2 separate drones delivering coal from 2 separate stations. That's perfectly fine. We have Power Station Charlie out here in the distance there. Power Station Charlie uses 360, and then it needs to bring another 405 here. And this is also delivering coal, which is going to the waterfall platform that goes out to the aluminum factory to create our aluminum scrap. So it's going all over the place, but I'm producing more than enough coal to run all of those processes at the different facilities. The problem is, we have a train platform out there, the coal platform. We have 2 separate trains stopping there and loading in coal when they go through that platform. And conveyor belts can transfer 720 items per minute. And unfortunately, what was happening is between the drone over there's a drone again taking it up top, between the truck that's, delivering it to Power Station Charlie, and the other train taking coal as well, this platform simply wasn't getting enough coal. It wasn't delivering enough out here to get me 405 coal a minute. Now you can see the incoming transfer rate is a lot better. Basically what I had to do is these train platforms and truck stations have this as well, but this has 2 inputs and 2 outputs. Basically I just doubled it up. The truck station that's loading the train platform over there, I only had 1 conveyor loading it, so it can only do 720 items a minute. It was just not able to supply all the items that I need, and adding that second conveyor in there is going to double the amount of production, and not production, but it's going to double the amount of items transferred into the train platform, which should transfer enough coal into that platform to keep it full for whenever the trains end up going through. So I'm curious to see if we have solved that production problem, if that's no longer going to be an issue. You can see he came back already. And yeah, the biggest problem I was having is that we weren't able to produce enough stuff out there. And see, this is kind of concerning because he's landing right now and we've only got 7.5 stacks in there. Probably by the time he lands and actually loads, we'll get a full 8 stacks. But the real question is, do we have enough to run the steel processes that are over at the iron factory right now? So we're back here up atop the iron facility, and just like we had to do with the iron ore over there, we now have 2 drone ports dedicated to receiving steel ingots. And this is still the issue that we're having here, is this bottleneck right here. Again, we're stress testing this system right now to make sure that we're able to produce and bring in enough items in order to do this constantly. And you can see the problem is we can't do it. We're only bringing in 370 a minute here, and then this one over here, 258. There's no drone at either one right now, and there's no drone coming to either one right now, which is, again, not a good thing. Let's go downstairs, and let's check out our steel stuff that we have down here. You can see I did wrap this thing further around the building and terminated it back here, because I liked my ladder being hidden back here, and I kind of wanted to hide it back there. Until they add like that catwalk with a ladder thing, which I really hope is something that they add in the future, there's not a whole lot we can really do. So over here, of course, you remember our iron processes. We are currently, again, stress testing this whole system. But this is our steel pipes, I believe. Yep, steel pipe production right here. We've got 8, 9, 10 constructors all producing those. It looks like we've got a bunch of steel ingots in a lot of these, but the problem is, once these are done, like once these fill up, and you can see there must be a drone up top right now because we've got more pouring in here. We have these here. So this is 300 steel ingots being used right here. We go downstairs, and I still got to figure out like some better ideas for traversing these floors. But I mean, sadly, there just is none. The stairs just aren't going to work as an idea in here. I could add some different things, but I'm not. Where? Wait a minute. Did I go down? I went down too many floors. I went down 1. I went down 2. I should have only gone down 1. Stupid autosave. There we go. So yeah, these are where we're ditching our iron for the stress test as well. But right down here, again, we're using another 300 down here because these steel beams use 60 per minute. So we need 600 steel ingots a minute to be arriving at this facility. Now, one of the production issues that I was having was that even when the drone was coming from the eastern platform, it wasn't bringing enough. It just wasn't doing enough. It wasn't bringing enough steel ingots with it. It was bringing like a stack or two, and I mean, considering the amount of time it takes to fly out there, to fly back, to drop them off and all that stuff, it just wasn't doing good enough. You can see it looks like the system's backed up a little bit because you can see how these are almost kind of stuttering out of, well, actually, no. Because they're merging underneath here too. Both of these feed into the same feed line because, again, 600 steel ingots, we have belts that can handle 720 per minute. But I really, really feel like I've got to try to examine a better system for this because we can't sustain this. That's over 600, but if it changes, you know, because this is receiving steel from the same port that's also shipping steel ingots over to that facility to make steel pipes. So, you know, I just don't know, and I think that's the steel drone right there. Yep, good. Bring in more. I really just feel like this guy's got to come a little bit faster. Maybe he's back en route to us now. And how long is this round trip taking? 3 minutes 41 seconds. Why is this one taking so long? It's literally right there. Why is this one taking longer? I don't even understand how that's a thing. Makes sense, game. So in a way that I can only say make some kind of really weird and poetic sense, it's exactly what I wanted to talk about and what we wanted to kind of start working on when I mentioned at the end of the last episode, is getting that natural gas facility, or I'm sorry, that nitrogen gas facility online. And that's because if you watch this slow trickle that's coming in here, this drone just landed. Now, he got a full 9 stacks, which is good. And we need, like, I know that we're producing enough iron in the world to be able to cover the different processes because of the way the different drones work and go back and forth. The problem is we've got another one circling overhead right now, and I'm pretty sure this is the guy from Power Station Alpha up there. This is only going to get about 3 stacks in it before he's going to take off and leave. we're only producing 300 items a minute in this thing, and it is maximum overclocked right now. But again, we've only got minor Mark IIs in there. So this, unfortunately, just doesn't have the option, or the ability, I should say, to keep up with current demand, because we've got two different things feeding out of this. And again, we need 960 just in the Iron Factory, and that's not even counting, the 405 that we need at Power Station Alpha. This, unfortunately, it just can't keep up. We need a minor Mark III here, which is gonna, I don't know exactly the amount, I should mention. I don't know exactly the amount that this is gonna crank it up to, but we need minor Mark IIIs, but in order to do that, we need fused mod frames, but in order to do that, we need to finally get our nitrogen gas facility built. But first, I'd like to talk to you about something very important. Hello everyone, my name is Nick and I'm the host of Nikolai's Kitchen. I also host an annual charity event called the Livestream for the Cure. Every year, myself, content creators and podcast partners, and a team of amazing people get together to raise money for the Cancer Research Institute, a wonderful nonprofit researching cancer immunotherapy, training the body to fight all forms of cancer. Their mission is one that I very strongly believe in, and that is a future immune to cancer. And that's why over the past 5 years, I and my team have worked tirelessly to raise over $50,000 for this cause. This year, we're aiming for our biggest single goal to date of $20,000, and we cannot do it without your help. So please join us for the event May 19th through the 21st, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern, for 45 hours of content from people all over the world. Together, we can come together and we can bring hope for a future immune to cancer, for a future where we no longer have to hear stories of friends, loved ones, family members being lost to cancer, fighting cancer. Please join us. If you can't make a donation, the most important thing that you can do is share everything you can about this event wherever and whenever you find it, and help play that algorithm game on all the social media sites to get the event more visibility. The more eyes we reach, the more dollars we raise. Please help us in making this goal a reality. Please join us for amazing content from incredible people, all for a future immune to cancer. Together, we can make a difference. So over here, we are above a waterfall that disappears down into the ether. So we can't fall down there. That would be bad times. But we've got some power poles running kind of over here and then across the river. And then this one goes up here to this nitrogen gas facility that is up here. There's nothing up here yet. We have not built literally a single thing. But what I need to do is I need to put a big factory up here, and we need to get one of those pressurized well extractors like we have for Power Station Charlie up here and start extracting nitrogen gas. And then we also need to we've got heat sinks being constructed over in the aluminum factory. Those are going to get droned over here to produce different things that we're going to need to be making in here. So there's just so much different stuff that has to get put in place for this facility. But I really think it's the smartest option because we can keep adding more infrastructure and we can keep sticking on the current tech tiers. But I know for a fact that once we get this structure up and running, once we get this structure built, then we're going to have minor Mark IIIs. And not only am I going to be able to upgrade that one iron platform that we already looked at, but we're going to be able to upgrade all of them. We're going to have so much fewer issues with raw resources going into the different processes that we need. So this has to become like the main priority. We have to get this facility built. And just like that, the facility is online. Welcome back, everybody, to a few days later. I've gotten a lot of different things done, but we are at the nitrogen gas facility. So my concept of what I wanted to do here has changed drastically over a few different iterations. I had talked about and even concepted building a bigger factory out here where I was going to bring the blender out here. I was going to bring other resources out here and build everything out here. The problem is I realized I would need water for one of the blender processes to build the cooling systems, and there's no water anywhere. I mean, there's water right there, but there's not water I can extract anywhere near here. So I would have basically had to bottle up water and then have it shipped here and then unpackaged. And once I hit that kind of concept, it was like, well, why don't I just package up the gas and send that to wherever I need it instead? So that's what I ended up doing. We have nitrogen gas being, of course, extracted from our well pressurizer here. We've got 5 pure nodes, each extracting 120 cubic meters of gas per minute. There's 2 extra nodes here. There's 2 normal nodes. There's one here and there's another one. These only do 60, so I didn't hook these up because the pipes can only handle 600 cubic meters of gas anyway. So I don't really need it for anything. But basically everything gets pumped into this pipe network. They all join up, and then they end up making their way down here to our drone platform. It's stored in this tank here. In this guy here, we've got, well, nothing at the moment. But basically, nitrogen gas, we need aluminum packaged fluid tanks in order to be able to package the nitrogen gas. Now, basically, what happens here is the drone, which is currently at the other facility, once it empties out enough, what it's going to do is it's going to come back here to pick up more nitrogen gas canisters, and it's going to drop off a whole ton of the empty canisters. So I don't have the canisters building anywhere. I literally built one storage unit, basically full of them, built a truck, drove them over here, and that's it. That's all I'm ever going to need to build, because we're just constantly recycling the same canisters back and forth. Like when the drone comes, it's only going to be able to fit 9 stacks on it anyway. And then all the empty canisters it's going to drop are all going to go back in here. You can see they feed right in there. And then we're just going to package up more gas. And it's just, I love that. Like, I don't have to build any more of it. There's not really any need, because I'm just going to be kind of wasting aluminum and wasting power, wasting processes. So yeah, I don't ever need to do anything more with that. So I've got a few different design elements that I've got to finish up out here. I didn't finish building the wall or anything out here yet. We can see we've got our beam kind of descending way down into the ether. I promise that's attached to something down there. Go down there and check. I'll wait. But I have to finish one over on the other side over here, and I wanted to bring this wall down here just a little bit further so I can kind of have it push into the bank there. But I've got to build, like I said, this other beam kind of like right here, I believe. Yeah, like right there. And basically, I'm going to real-time this with you guys just so I can kind of talk to you about what's to come in future episodes. Do I have? No, make sure that's selected, because I don't feel like repainting this as I go. So essentially what we do is we take that like that, and then we're just going to grab the power node, and we're just going to go as far down as we can. And then we fly down here like so, rinse and repeat all the way down until we hit that beautiful point at the bottom of the world where you can't survive anymore, and I will start taking a lot of damage. So what is to come next? Now that we've got the nitrogen gas facility online, I have built fused mod frames. I have not, however, completed the upgrade. I have not done the upgrade tier. That's going to be the beginning of the next episode. We're going to actually be completing the upgrade tier, another upgrade tier, finally, after a very long time. I'm really also torn about whether I want to use beam connectors in between these, because just seeing them close up and seeing that tiny gap in between them bugs me. So yeah, we're going to be completing the tech tier at the start of the next episode. I'm also going to be showing you guys the first floor of the manufacturing facility, which is complete, and it is currently producing heavy modular frames. So that's going to be the first floor of the manufacturing plant. I kind of ended up doing something different than I had initially intended. I kind of wanted it to have a first floor that was similar to the iron factory, where we had a kind of just giant cache of supplies, where all the different things we're building were all coming into a centralized location. And mind you, there's enough space where I could still do that, but you know, I didn't do it that way. I kind of just designed the whole thing to take up all the space that it's going to take up. Like in terms of all the production processes, in terms of throttling all the processes. Also, we were at an iron deposit earlier that's just a normal deposit feeding a drone system. I'm going to be getting rid of that because I don't like that. I don't want that. I think that's not really all that conducive to my processes, because I need to be producing the maximum amount of anything. Like whatever it is, I need to be producing as much of it as I absolutely possibly can. I'm pretty sure we're going to hit that low point in the world this time down. Kind of going slow here. Okay. Not yet. we are very, very far away. But we're going to keep going until the game starts damaging me, until the game won't let me go anymore. That's the goal anyway. And all right, that's it. That is... we can get one more. Come on, there we go. Yep, there we go. One last one, and now we're just going to kind of fly our way back up, selecting all these nodes. I don't think I'm going to worry about the beam connectors right now, because from a glance and from a distance, you're never going to see them. So I'm not really all that concerned about it. But what I want is I just want these supports to just kind of disappear down below. Like they're definitely supported by something. You don't know what. It's just anchoring down into the depths down there. I just love that. I love the way it just kind of disappears down into the darkness down there. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys the manufacturing plant that I have constructed. I'm also going to show you the blender facility because that's a separate building where the nitrogen gas is currently going and where we're making our fused modular frames. I basically had to build the first floor of the manufacturing plant because... Boop. Yeah, I had to build the first floor of the manufacturing plant because, I needed the heavy modular frames, and of course, because I gutted the iron factory, I don't have any of that stuff in place. See, we just have a just giant gap here. So what I think we're going to do is, what do we got here? We're rocking concrete here. I think we'll rock concrete foundation again. And I want to just kind of do... I want it to not be there, though. So let's do that, but then let's go up. There we go. Up. And there goes our drone, headed back up top to our facility where the blender is working on building those fused mod frames that we need. And now you can see down here, we have empty gas canisters coming back in off of the drone platform to just kind of recycle right back into the same process. Like I said, I love this. I love just having the ability to do that, so I never ever have to have a separate thing independent to build this. I really, really love that. I really do need to take advantage of that more often with drone platforms, of they have both an input and an output. Like, when you have things coming into a facility, there's no reason why you can't also, like, have a drone taking things out and vice versa. Like, I don't do that with a lot of stuff, and I really, really should, but I just don't. I don't know why. But I really, really, really do need to get better at doing that sort of thing. So that way I can decrease the amount of drone traffic that we've got in the air, because doing these stress tests, unfortunately, has... I knew it was coming. I knew it was going to happen eventually, but we have a battery problem. We have a major battery problem. I think in terms of all shipping ports, yeah, I have what is this? 4, 8, 12, 13, plus 46 more. We have 59 drone ports. We were producing 60 batteries a minute. If every one of those drone ports is receiving or sending traffic, then forget it. We're not even going to come close to it. So my battery supply was very unfortunately dwindling down. And what I found is that actually causes a kind of fun production issue, because then when it's not producing enough, you've got drones coming in to try to pick up more batteries all the time, which in turn is spending more batteries for those drones to be flying in far more often. So I had to double overclock everything down at the train platform for now to produce more batteries, but we're going to need another battery production facility somewhere else, just because we need to be producing more batteries. It just is the way that it is. But yeah, you guys will have to let me know what you think of the nitrogen gas facility out here. I can't wait to show you all the stuff that I've been working on up top in the next episode. Until then, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one.